welcome back to Red Lip Talk Podcast, episode 35. And we talking about some things. We talking about let's have a healthier holiday. But then we got some things that we're talking about that's real juicy, I want to say. I got my boy in the building, Marlon Favorite, right? From In the Trenches, right?
Inside the Trenches
Inside the
podcast.
Trenches
Hello.
podcast. Yes, and he's very, very well known on this West Bank, East Bank, New Orleans, all over. I love your song. I love your song.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for checking it
Yeah,
out.
I love
Hello,
you.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to move my body.
Yeah. I absolutely love your song. But I'm glad you jumped on today because you're a sports person. Tell the people exactly what you do on our podcast, even though they know you, but just tell them what you do.
Well, I'm in the broadcasting. I do sports and entertainment. I have a sports and entertainment podcast and everything that goes in that realm. So, Inside the Trenches podcast, broadcast live from Small Sliders 12 to 1 every Friday. We also do Five with Fave segments where I interview different people.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say, my buddy always calls me a Renaissance man, but I guess to put it in, I just do freelance journalism. So with WWL TV, we do the sports morning show. I mentioned that my own podcast, but I go on several. Like in a couple of hours, I'm going to go on Gus Cat and get on ESPN New Orleans. And one of my loves, my favorite, is working for LSU Sports Radio, my former school. I'm alumni at LSU, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, how you got time? You do a lot. You do a lot. You really give 120%. I heard ET talk about that this morning. Some of y'all give 70%. Some of y'all give 120. The ones who give 120, they'll be more successful because they do a lot of things.
See, what happened was
Uh-huh.
I have some really big people in my house. Like my oldest son, he's about 200 solid. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the weights. I have two other ones that's small, so you got to work pretty much like a Jamaican.
Yes.
To feed these
Yeah,
to feed the kids. you
That's
know?
right. That's right. That's a step. You saw my big old boy. He's
So we on the set,
265.
and I see you got a shop over there off Lapelco. We doing this pie. We got to hustle, baby. I mean, it's necessary,
We gotta
right?
hustle, and not only that, you ain't mentioned that, but you do one-on-ones. You really train kids as well, right?
Yeah, and that's more of a treat to me, I would say, because once you start approaching, I know you're talking about working out and health. I'm one-on-one and sometimes small group training with our students, but I do everything with them.
Yeah.
So all the conditioning, we do 110s, we lift weights. We do position specs and the teaching points. I like to be hands-on. So it's really been a gift for me, although, and I know you and I talked about this
Yeah.
off air, even
Yeah.
though I don't like the way the scale looks all the time. I love the way my body feels and how conditioned I am. So I'm just thankful more to those kids, being able to get with Conquer Sports Pros, keeping me moving.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, I heard somebody say one time, Marlon, that a person or a heavy person, or they say like an obese person that works out, is in better condition than somebody is at their regular weight and they don't work out.
Yeah, that does have a lot of validity to it, but it does have to do with getting yourself in shape. Like, let's say, for instance, let's take a guy like Brian Bruzy, the new rookie for the Saints. He's
Okay.
about 300 and probably 15, 20 pounds,
Okay.
but he probably has somewhere around 27, 28 body percent fat. So what that is your muscle takes on over the fat, and that and it could still you can still have you know be in line for some of the major health issues, but what it does is you burn more calories than you consume, and it forces you to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So it just brings in a lot of good things.
Yeah, like you being in in the industry, in the NFL industry, you being an athlete yourself. What are some things that you could probably tell somebody as far as like what you tell your guys that you train? Is there any help tips you give them, like as to what they need to be doing?
I think this is one of the biggest tricks, and I wish I could follow it more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's five different food patterns you want to eat in.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do the berries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. The berries burn fat. Avocado, it's a healthy fat.
Yeah.
So sometimes I may add avocado to my sandwich.
I love
or something
avocado.
that you
I
like. See,
love
see, that's good.
Marlon, I
It's a
love
fat, but
avocado.
it's a healthy fat.
Yeah.
Grass-fed bison over times I heard, and I'm not a nutritionist. This is just things that I have had my athletes use over the years, and
Yeah.
just a few things that I've done as well. But grass-fed bison, or I would say a good protein,
Yeah.
a grilled protein, an air fried protein, which we just copped. Me and my wife just got the air fryer a few
Yeah.
weeks ago. Off the
Okay.
chain, love
Off
it.
the chain. Yeah, I have an Air Fryer too.
So you see Spice been on again. She should have been
Okay.
put me on.
Yeah, I had a
Y'all hold it out on me, son.
yeah,
Y'all wrong for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Cause I have I have one too. I love it. I love the air fryer.
Come on,
Yeah,
that's what's up. And you
yeah.
talk about the veggies too. You want to OD on the vegetables and fruits.
What'd you say? OD. What that mean?
Overdose meaning like
Ooh.
you can do as much green as you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want to, because all the maybe spinach and lettuce, what it does is just flush.
It's just
So
flush.
so here's where I got in a major way motivated to do this. When I did play in the NFL, they would charge you $500 per pound you were overweight. So I was like, my little check was nothing but a couple $1,000 anyway. So I couldn't
Ooh.
afford to, like, if I'm 2 pounds overweight, that's a rat gone already. So
Yeah.
you start learning. Now you're forced to learn some of these healthier eating styles and just maintaining them. I guess staying away from like the fried pork and stuff like that. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do like those, even with chicken, try your hardest. And it's like you said, 80-20. If you have a piece of fried chicken or a full piece Monday, you may not
Rest
eat
of
it
the
again.
week.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
because
eat
I
it a
like
different way.
no lies. I like to eat. That's my thing. I've realized that in my life. I've always been a little chunky all
Ain't
my
right
life.
with you.
You know, I
Ain't right
always
with
been
you.
a little chunky all my life. But for the most part, I was athletic though. I
That's
played in a
good.
band. You know, like now I can bench 200 pounds.
Check you out. Now
I
your little
can
boy,
actually
he what he
squat
been?
it. I can squat it.
So you up there with your son, the
Oh
Curtis football player.
yeah, yeah. He's right now. He said, "Ma, look, I benched. I did 4 or 5." I said, "Son, you gotta watch yourself. I don't want you to hurt yourself. You only 14."
And what's his nickname again?
They
Braylon
call
was
him
telling
Booger.
Booger.
They
Booger.
call
Booger
him
plays center.
Booger.
Shouts out to Booger and the John
Shout
Curtis
out,
Patriots. Y'all
yeah.
had a good one.
Let's get into that.
Okay,
Let's
definitely.
get into that.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. Marlon.
History, right?
Okay, let's get into the first thing. So when somebody sent me a text and a picture of when they decided that JT did not make the official the 622, they say he was 30 wins short, and they actually took the 30 wins from him because they said that he played ineligible players.
And this happens a lot in high school football, particularly
Yeah.
here in Louisiana.
Hmm.
Uh, not to get too in
Into
depth
it,
on
yeah.
that side of it,
Uh-huh.
but I think about the kids. I think about I think sometimes when punishments go down, whether right or wrong, too much of harsh deal is done on the kids as
Yeah.
opposed to the person. So
Yeah.
maybe it's a okay, we're going to fine John Curtis X amount of dollars for that,
Yeah.
as opposed to taking the wins from the kids.
Yeah.
and
see,
then
see.
The win is in the
Yeah.
eye of the beholder as well.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that after they did have the win, and shouts out to both Edna Carr
Yeah,
and,
Edna Carr
Curtis,
and
'cause
Curtis. Yeah,
with
yeah.
Conquer Sports, we got kids on both sides.
Oh,
So
okay. You got kids on both sides.
that
Yeah.
we train.
Now I'm not gonna lie. Edna Carr. I was at the game because, of course, my son played for the ninth grade. So I'm like, I'm looking. I ain't gonna lie. We first start the game. I was like, boy, this Edna Carr, boy, it's zero. They'll have no losses, no defeats. And I know a couple of coaches there at Edna Carr. And I was like, oh man, this gonna be something. But when I saw the text that Wednesday, I said, "Oh Lord, it's gonna be nothing nice." Because see, I think that was like a fire that was put under. And see, one thing about it, I want to tell you, whatever JT and them, shouts out to all y'all. Shouts out to Carl too. But with my son being there on that team, one thing, they got a code. They got a bro code. They got a football code. Something he's not gonna spill too much.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I be like, what? Well, okay. What about this article? If I don't know.
See
I
that?
said, well, dang, Tank. I don't know, you know.
Yeah,
So
it was.
yeah, it was oh man, just to be there at the game. You was there.
Yeah, I thought the atmosphere was exceptional.
Yes.
I got there like the middle of the first quarter, so I missed the first touchdown.
Okay.
But what John Curtis does well is they run the veer. It's being able to read the defensive ends
Uh-huh.
and making a determination. I don't want to mess up this beautiful set,
Oh
but
no,
let's say
you're
for
good. Go
instance,
ahead, go ahead.
this beautiful lipstick right here is the
Uh-huh.
center. You have guard, tackle, tackle.
Mhm.
So what they do so well, so you're the quarterback.
Mhm.
They have two running backs behind them, and my football folks that's watching, y'all
Mhm.
understand it.
Yeah.
And the quarterback is just legit reading the defensive ends and how far up the field the defensive tackle is going to shoot. So anytime a team doesn't show discipline on the defensive line,
They gonna
it's
run
big
over
hits
'em.
up the middle.
They gonna run over 'em.
And now, as a defensive player, coach, you have to add another guy in the box to help for the run, and that's where you saw the pass was very successful that night. So I thought that Carr
Mm.
fought, but I mean Curtis, just like you said, they was
Yeah,
motivated.
it was motivated. That's why I say I keep saying that I really think that put the fire under them. I was so honored that my son was there to be a part of that, and I was shocked that they still celebrated it. You seen that they still celebrated it and stuff. But look, Carr and Junker, they're gonna meet again, right, in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna more than likely meet again because it's a possibility. Well, Carr has a bye week this weekend. That's
Hmm.
why they pull up. So just for your viewers,
Okay.
so this is the actual bracket for the select. So Holy Cross has a bye.
Hmm.
I want to say Acadiana has a bye,
Hmm.
and the Carr has a bye because they are the district champs. So
Yeah,
that's
they
why I
are the
say
champs. Yeah,
they are the champs.
congratulations.
Congrats to them.
Hmm.
Curtis takes on. No, they're down. Which part of the bracket?
Hmm.
Uh, well,
Because I
let's see,
know they
Brother
had two
Martin.
losses. They had two losses. Curtis did.
Yeah, but they still
Yeah.
have a bye. They will
Uh-huh.
play the winner out of, I want to say, St. Aug and McKinley
Okay.
in his first round at St. Paul's, and then Captain
So
Shreveport.
St. Aug made it to the playoffs?
Yeah, St. Aug's in the
Oh,
playoffs.
wow.
They have to play McKinley,
Okay.
which I think they're going to be behind us. So here's the new thing, and this is a lot of the folks that played when me and your brother was in high school.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is, we're not used to everybody just going to the playoffs. So no matter what your record is, the way Louisiana high school set up, every team gets to play in the first round. And I know probably from
Mm.
a safety standpoint, they probably look at it. Let's give the top teams a bye week,
Yeah.
which you would typically get that bye week anyway. But it's just different, and
Yeah.
but I do understand the
It's
extra game.
different, huh?
Yeah, it's like
I guess they're trying to just help the kids, motivate them, and stuff like that. Did
it
Did
is.
you know anything about? Somebody told me that because we was talking about the ineligible players and stuff like that, and them taking the wins and all that. From now it's 29 wins he need in order to make history, national history, to be in the winningest coach
Yeah.
in the nation or
So yeah,
something.
so technically with them penalizing Coach JT,
Hmm.
they, he's 29 wins away.
Yeah.
But Friday night was their. That's why you saw those boxes and
Yeah.
Booger came with the shirt with the 60,
Yeah. The
622.
622. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that happened. Like
Yeah.
that part of it. And me and Fletch was talking on the sideline. He does WDSU.
Hmm.
Uh, that Curtis family is going to celebrate because they won. JT won 622 games. Period. No
Yeah.
matter what
What
you
they
try to
say?
take away, it's kind of like the
Yeah.
Reggie Bush thing too. Like in the
Yeah.
world of NIL deals now, they took away his Heisman Trophy
Hmm.
because of quote unquote receiving illegal funds
Hmm.
as a college student. But
Hmm.
now you can receive money with the NIL deal. Now he like, okay, run me back
Run
my
by
coins. You know what I'm saying? Give my
coins.
trophy
Get
back.
my trophy
My
back.
trophy back.
Get my coins and get my trophy back.
So
Get
yeah,
my coins and get my trophy back.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking about that with me because, by me being a football mom, I never was just like into football. But since he been playing since 4, I gotta kind of understand a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotta understand a little bit of it, and I actually enjoy it. I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy the passes, tackles. I enjoy every aspect of it, and that night was epic.
Yeah, it was fire, and it
It
was a
was
beautiful
epic.
night too. Like the weather was
Ooh,
cooperative.
the weather was
Everything was
nice.
nice.
People, did you see the lines of people waiting 3 blocks down to get in?
That was wild too, especially on that Brown Street side. So I
Yes.
mean, you did you graduate from West Jeff too?
No, no, no. I graduated from Kennedy.
From Kennedy. Okay, okay.
Uh-huh,
Well, me and your
John
brother
F.
graduated
Kennedy.
from West Jeff. Shouts
Uh-huh.
out to West Jeff because, I mean, they were able to get some parking. Hey. So the
Yes.
school was able to
Some
raise some money.
change.
For real, it was packed.
That was the game. But this another thing I wanted to say before we go into our go to break. I wanted to say that most people were saying, why did they move the game? Because initially it was at Berman, but they said they moved the game to now one person was, I'm just gonna say a little joke. People were saying that John Curtis was afraid, but that's the joke. But what I found out was they had some technical difficulties at Berman, actually at the stadium. Some things wasn't working at the stadium. So yeah, so that's why it was the sudden move, of going to West Jeff Stadium, and I think it's called Moss Mess Stadium. What's y'all stadium called?
House Memphis.
House Memphis. Because I didn't know that was the name of the stadium. I was like, what? Where
And
is
then you
this?
got Joe Yenny on the East Bank. So you have
Yes.
House Memphis, the West Bank,
Mhm.
West Jefferson Stadium, and East Jefferson you have Joe Yenny. So those are like the names behind it. But
Okay.
I heard a number of things. I did hear and saw, because we train at Berman a lot,
Mhm.
where our conditioning,
Okay.
they were working on some technical things in the
Mhm.
stadium.
Okay.
They're doing construction around that too. So I mean, I guess the equipment and all that around.
Yeah.
I do think Carr would have had a little more momentum because it's
They're
almost
home.
like backyard ball the way
Yeah.
Berman is, because it's like almost like in a city park, but closed off by all trees,
Yeah.
and then it's like not a lot of lighting, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
this spooky ooey and Elgis type feeling.
Yeah,
Then you walk in there.
they call somebody call it something. They say that's their home. That's the dugout or something. I don't know the dugout.
And it's the smells too. It's a different smells. Like you're kind of in a different. You're in the hood. Yeah. So it's like, oh my God, Billy, is that? Yes, we
That's
in the hood. So it's that element. But
No
West
lie,
Jeff is
I'm afraid to
clean.
go. I'm afraid to go to Birmingham.
Because Berman would be a great spot to like do like a Halloween like site or whatever, because at night it does have that spooky mystique about it.
Yeah,
And then it's just then you walk into the stadium and like the
yeah.
lights are on. It is a different vibe.
Yes, it's definitely a different vibe. But I thank you for coming on today and talking about this topic with me. Tell the people again how they can reach you, how they can reach you, book with you to have if they have a
Okay.
kid that wanna actually be coached 1-on-1. Tell them how they can contact you, and definitely tell them about your podcast.
So my website is marlonfavorite.net. You can book some sessions with Conk on there. You can send an email, or you can hit me up on my Twitter or X now at BigFave504. Same thing on Instagram, and our podcast, Inside the Trenches podcast, at Small Sliders every Friday.
Yeah.
Good time. Look, like I said, we
We're
talk.
talking
It's a
about
healthy
healthy.
show. This is a healthy show. So
But them sliders be good. Them
that
sliders is good.
let that be a cheat day, right? That could be your cheat day.
Be a
You know,
cheat day,
you
bro.
come over there, then get back to the turkey
Take it
parts of
back
the
to
salad and stuff. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right. That's right. Well, again, thank you for being on Red Lip Talk podcast. We're gonna go to break. When I say Red Lip Talk, we don't expect you to do that. The men do that. Right. They do that. So thank y'all for tuning in. Don't go nowhere. It's your girl Spice Divas, the marketing diva.